President Joe Biden is calling for even stricter gun controls after a number of recent shootings in Philadelphia, Baltimore, Wichita, Kansas, Michigan, and Fort Worth, Texas, just to name a few. But what does it entail? Universal background checks and a ban on semi-automatic rifles? He also says that the gun manufacturers shouldn't be immune from liability, meaning that if somebody uses a gun for violence and they bought from a particular manufacturer, then the manufacturer is actually going to be blamed for it. Now, that almost sounds like the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Do you guys think that that's fair? And do you think that a ban on assault weapons will actually solve this problem? Now, on the topic of problems, the White House and the Secret Service are both in a bit of a pickle as drugs were found near the West Wing. Now, you remember this whole cocaine problem, right? Well, yeah, so I watched this entire briefing with the White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, and this is what I observed. So there were plenty, and I mean, like, there was a lot of logical questions when it came to this whole, drug issue. Now, some asked, does the Secret Service need to check their own security protocols? I mean, what's stopping anyone from bringing a virus through the metal detector? Is the White House conducting their own investigation on this thing? Who has access when it comes to these tours? Is the White House sure that this came from a tour and not staff from the White House? I mean, logical stuff, right? And all of her answers were basically just saying, look, I know I'm the White House press secretary and all, but, and I'm supposed to answer your questions, but these are all questions that need to be asked to the Secret Service, not me. So yeah, and that's how it went. And I swear, I know I'm paraphrasing here, but a lot of people are saying that she's deflecting all these questions by referring to a group of people who won't answer the press. She was also asked something that I was personally curious about as well. Will there be a drug test for people that work in the White House? Check out what she said about this.
Will any White House staffers be undergoing drug testing as part of this investigation?
So, as you know, again, this is under the purview of the Secret Service, but a couple of things that I would add is that White House is subject to rigorous guidelines that include drug testing, and so we will take any action that is appropriate and warranted pending the outcome of the Secret Service. Just not going to get into hypotheticals from here, but this is something that when it comes to drug testing, certainly we take that very seriously. And so there are indeed rigorous guidelines here at the White House.
Now, I don't want to question Karine Jean-Pierre here, since she's probably just going to redirect my questions to somebody else who probably won't answer it either. But doesn't the White House have bomb-sniffing dogs? Because I don't think that they would just allow anything to get through security though, right? So how the heck did, crack cocaine get past different security measures, right? Must have been known and it must have been allowed. I'm just saying, like, how else are they going to do this thing, right? However, and this is good news for whoever did bring it into the White House. Officials are saying that it's unlikely that they'll ever be found out, as a lot of people go through this area. Man, if only we knew someone who may have had access to both the White House and this paraphernalia, and who could bypass security. Who could this possibly be? I guess this mystery is just going to stay around forever. So let's go ahead and move on to another question that many have for the White House. Like, why does the president refer to our kids as his? And he's done this before, and he said it again in a recent speaking engagement for July 4th. Check this out.
I've often say, and you're tired of hearing me say it probably, but children are the kite strings. They're not somebody else's children. They're all our children. Are the kite strings that lift our national ambitions aloft. And you hold those strings. You hold those strings. And our job is to make sure you have what you need to do what you do best.
I'm not going to say more than that, right? You guys, you can share your thoughts on this down below in the comments, but I mean, really? All right, so on to more news here at home. So Mark Zuckerberg is bringing the heat to Elon Musk as Meta Platforms launched a direct competitor to the Twitter platform called Threads. So this new platform called Threads, this app had more than 10 million signups within the first 7 hours, and it's probably going to get a lot of new users as we speak. Posts can be as long as 500 characters and include links, photos, and videos of up to 5 minutes long. And it also helped Meta's stock as it's up by 3% during this announcement alone.
Now, it is connected to Instagram. And to me, this is actually the most salient point, the most key thing that you need to know. It's important because the goal will be to leverage Instagram's 2 billion plus users. Now, that's a lot of users. And frankly, compare it to, say, Twitter, which we don't have official numbers, but is between 350 and 450 million number of users. So the thing to consider here is this. All social media businesses are advertising businesses. Meta linking Threads to Instagram means that it is going to look to advertise to all 2 billion people it has on Instagram. Now, the bigger the population, the more advertising capabilities, the higher the ceiling. Though we're seeing Musk and Zuckerberg possibly set up to throw punches in person at some point. I will say that to me, the thing that is most salient here is they're going to be trying to notch some wins with advertisers. And that, I think, is where the real difference is going to be made, Rochelle.
So here's my question, guys. Like, how many freaking social media platforms is enough? Or rather, how many is too much? No, seriously. I know that some of you guys are probably going to laugh at that one, but don't we have enough social media platforms now? And also, will this new platform also be banned from talking to the Biden administration as well? Oh, wait, will they just use this platform to also kind of suppress certain conversations and whatnot? Probably so. But what are you guys' thoughts on this? And have any of you guys signed up for this yet? On that note, let's go ahead and talk about free speech, shall we? So Democratic presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr., he's talking about it a lot. And if things go his way, a government-run social media platform would be guaranteed to be free of censorship. Oh yeah, I guess we can really trust that. But he's also said that, he's willing to sign a series of executive orders and national security orders that will ultimately stop any and all government agencies and officials from participating in any kind of censorship. Now, while common sense is still common with RFK, since he says that, illegal posts will obviously not be shown to the public and, would be moderated, free speech in and of itself will be available to every single American. I gotta ask you guys, what do you guys think of an America that is censor free, where we can really share our opinions freely without fear of being deplatformed or canceled or suppressed? And do you really think that this will actually happen? Are you really telling me that we're gonna gain our freedom through the government? Let me know what y'all think. And since I just said it, Ben & Jerry just got canceled by a lot of would-be customers who are now obviously going to avoid their products as they made a huge PR mistake. Did you guys hear about that? So in a tweet, they said that the United States was built on stolen indigenous land and that we should now return it given that we just celebrated Independence Day. Wow. Now, technically, I can't argue with what they just said, but as you can see online, a lot of people are not happy with some users posting that Ben & Jerry be made the new Bud Light given that the beer company was also recently canceled over their PR and marketing decisions as well. Some even said that they should put their money where their mouth is by donating their business and money to the indigenous people. What do you guys think about all this? I know this has probably rubbed some people the wrong way, and I know some people actually support it. And do you have any thoughts on any of the topics we covered today? Make sure to hit me up in the comment section down below. I love to hear from you guys. Wouldn't it be something for a mainstream brand to give away free money? You know what I would do with that money? I would invest it. You see, that's the difference between people who want to be financially free and those who are just thinking about it. Now, if you want it badly enough, you're supposed to do something about it. What would you do if you had the opportunity to learn from someone with experience and skin in the game? I'm talking about investments in real estate, investments in the stock market through ETFs, individual stocks, index funds, mutual funds, even investments in yourself, through small businesses, setting up side hustles, home-based businesses, all capable of generating potentially multiple streams of income. Now, if you're on your way to financial freedom, then don't hesitate to drop some comments down below. Let me know what you guys are up to. Maybe I can drop some investment videos that will be helpful to the community. Now, before I go, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please drop a quick thumbs up for it. Also, consider subscribing for more videos like this. I really appreciate hanging out with you guys, and I'm gonna catch you on the next one.